What is a heuristic? In essence, it's a rule of thumb. The important part is to understand that it is a strategy, a tool that helps you to survive in an uncertain world. Usually people think a heuristic is a second-class strategy which needs less effort and therefore you lose some of the accuracy. This is called the accuracy-effort trade-off. Sounds very plausible, and it holds in a small world where everything is known. Yet that doesn't necessarily hold in an uncertain world where not everything is known. And we have shown that heuristics that ignore part of the information can actually make more accurate decisions in an uncertain world. And this is an important part, and it makes many people uneasy because their belief system doesn't allow for that. So the accuracy-effort trade-off is not generally true. It may be true in a small world, but not outside. In a real world, the goal will not be to find the optimal solution because it cannot be computed, but to make a good bet. And a good bet has to be robust. That means it is a bet about a world that may slightly change, and you don't know how it is going. And therefore, you need to have something that has a good chance to be robust, and that's one of the keys to that is to ignore part of the information. So this is the definition of a heuristic. A good heuristic is not just fast and frugal, but also, in the situation where it's applied, better than more complex strategies. So we study, a heuristic is based on evolved and learned core capacities, such as recognition memory, such as recall, tracking, the ability to imitate, and other figures. And that's why the heuristics are fast and quick. The examples are multiple. So a very simple heuristic is called the recognition heuristic. So assume you are in the TV show Who Will Become a Millionaire? And here's the $1 million question. Which city has more inhabitants? Detroit, Milwaukee. Time is ticking. What do you say? Now, Dane Goldstein and I have studied these situations, and the students at the University of Chicago, they got about 60% the correct answer, Detroit. Then we studied Germans, who know very little about Detroit, and some have never heard of Milwaukee. So, what percentage did this semi-ignorance get? 90% correct. So how can it be that people who know more actually get less, and those who know less actually get more correct? And this is a systematic effect. The answer is that in this case, the Germans can rely on a very simple heuristic, which is, I haven't heard of Milwaukee, I've heard of Detroit, so then I go with Detroit. The Americans can't use this heuristic because they knew too much. They've heard of both, and they know facts. And the facts give them the 10 percentage points above 50% which is chance. And the art to exploit one's own ignorance can give one much more. This example also shows that a heuristic doesn't work all the time. It only works if there is a correlation in the environment between the fact of having heard of something and the criterion one wants to know. And that's the case in sports, that's the case in businesses, that's the case in many instances, but not always. So one needs to know in what environment a heuristic is ecologically rational and where not. In the studies we have, they suggest that people without even thinking, rely on the heuristic more often when it's rational and not so often when there is no correlation out there.